Hi students, we are going to deal with the next topic in Fraunhofer diffraction, and that is plane diffraction grating. What you see on the screen now is a model of a diffraction grating. It is an arrangement which consists of a large number of slits of equal width separated by opaque portions at equal distances. The diffraction grating is made of a rectangular glass plate on which a large number of fine parallel and equidistant lines are drawn. These lines are drawn in such a way that in 1 millimeter there can be about 600 to 1000 lines. The lines are opaque to light, that is, they do not allow light to pass through, whereas the space between two lines, രണ്ട് ലൈനുകൾക്ക് ഇടയിലുള്ള place, they are transparent to light, allows light to pass through and act as slits. അത് രണ്ട് ലൈനുകൾക്കിടയിലെ സ്ഥലം സ്ലിറ്റായി ആക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു. The qualities of a good grating are the number of lines per unit length must be large and the spacing between the lines must be equidistant. Now, replica gratings are usually used in the laboratory. ഈ ഒറിജിനൽ ഗ്രേറ്റിങ്ങിൻ്റെ റെപ്ലിക്കകൾ പലപ്പോഴും ലബോറട്ടറികളിൽ ഉപയോഗിക്കപ്പെടാറുണ്ട്. Now, how is it made? For this, a thin layer of collodion solution is poured on the surface of the original grating. ഒറിജിനൽ ഗ്രേറ്റിങ്ങിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ കൊളോഡിയോൺ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സൊല്യൂഷൻ ഒഴിക്കുന്നു. ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് അലൗഡ് ടു ഹാർഡൻ. അത് ഉണങ്ങി കട്ടിവെക്കാൻ അനുവദിക്കുന്നു. ദ കൊളോഡിയൻ ഫിലിം ഇസ് ദെൻ സ്ട്രിപ്ഡ് ഫ്രം ദി ഗ്രേറ്റിംഗ്. കൊളോഡിയൻ ഫിലിമിനെ ഉണങ്ങിയതിന് ശേഷം ഗ്രേറ്റിങ്ങിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ നിന്ന് നമ്മൾ വലിച്ചെടുക്കുന്നു. ആൻഡ് ദിസ് ഫിലിം ഇസ് ദെൻ എൻക്ലോസ്ഡ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ ടു ഗ്ലാസ് പ്ലേറ്റ്സ്. ഈ ഫിലിമിനെ രണ്ട് ഗ്ലാസ് പ്ലേറ്റിൻ്റെ നടുക്ക് വെക്കുന്നു. ദിസ് ഫിലിം ഹാസ് ദ ഇംപ്രഷൻസ് ഓഫ് ദി ഒറിജിനൽ ഗ്രേറ്റിംഗ് ഓൺ ഇറ്റ്. ഒറിജിനൽ ഗ്രേറ്റിങ്ങിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ നമ്മൾ ഡ്രോ ചെയ്ത ലൈനുകളും സ്ലിറ്റുകളും ഇതിൻ്റെ എല്ലാം പാടുകൾ, ഇംപ്രഷൻസ് ഈ റെപ്ലിക്കയുടെ മുകളിലുമുണ്ട്. സോ ദ റെപ്ലിക്ക ക്യാൻ ഓൾസോ ആക്ട് ആസ് ആൻ ഒറിജിനൽ grating. So this much about the construction of a grating. Now let us see the theory of a plane diffraction grating. Okay. So when light is incident normally on it, how does or what is the diffraction pattern that it shows? Now before going to that, why did we take the trouble to draw or rule out 600 to 1000 lines inside 1 millimeter? നമ്മൾ എന്തിനാണ് ഇത്ര പാടുപെട്ട് 1 മില്ലിമീറ്ററിൻ്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ 600 വരകളെല്ലാം വരച്ചത്? ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ബിക്കോസ് by drawing lines in this manner, we create slits whose size is in the order of the wavelength of light used. And when the size of the slit is in the order of the wavelength of light incident on it, diffraction will take place. So we have ruled lines on the surface of the diffraction grating in this manner so that we can create slits whose size is in the order of the wavelength of light used, and when light is incident on such slits, it undergoes diffraction. Now we can study in detail what is the diffraction pattern that we get on the screen when light is incident normally on a grating. For that, consider a plane diffraction grating as shown in this figure. Now XY represents a section of the grating. Let small a be the distance between, or let small a be the width of each slit. Okay, small a is the distance between AB, and small b is the width of a line. So small a is the width of a slit and small b is the width of a line. Here the distance a plus b together is called the grating element or the grating constant. Now L is a lens, convex lens used to focus the diffraction pattern onto the screen XY. Now, when light is incident normally on the section of the grating, when a plane wavefront is incident normally, most of the secondary wavelets will proceed in a direction of the incident light, and when focused by the lens L, it gives rise to a line of maximum intensity on the screen, that is at P. That is, at the point P, we get a line of maximum intensity or the central maxima. Next, we have to find out what is the diffraction pattern that you get on either sides of P. For that, we consider a beam which is diffracted at an angle theta. We consider two beams, one diffracted from A and the other one diffracted from C. That is, we are considering two beams diffracted from the corresponding points. That is, the same kind of points. A and C represents two corresponding points. So we consider two beams diffracted from the corresponding points, that is A and C. These diffracted beams are collected by the lens and they converge to the point P1. Now we find out the path difference between these two rays. As you can see from the figure, the path difference is given by A plus B sin theta, and the angle made there, I have not marked it there, the angle here is theta. Now if A plus B sin theta is equal to n lambda, then the secondary waves reinforce. That is, all the wavelets of wavelength lambda originating from the different corresponding points at an angle of diffraction theta, which originate from the same kind of corresponding points, will reinforce each other to give rise to a principal maxima at P1. These rays will converge and they will give rise to a maximum at P1. When do you get a maxima? When A plus B sin theta is equal to n lambda. So that is the condition for the principal maxima in a grating. So when a monochromatic light is incident normally on a grating, we get a central maxima at P with different orders of principal maxima on either sides of it, and these principal maxima satisfy the equation A plus B sin theta is equal to n lambda. അപ്പോൾ പ്ലെയിൻ വേവ് ഫ്രണ്ട് ഒരു ഗ്രേറ്റിങ്ങിന് മുകളിൽ നോർമലി വന്ന് വീണ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മെജോറിറ്റി ഓഫ് ദി റേസ്, അധികപക്ഷ റേസും നേരെ പോയി അത് കൺവേർജ് ചെയ്ത് പോയിൻ്റ് പിയിൽ തട്ടി നിൽക്കും. So the point P corresponds to the central maxima. ബാക്കിയുള്ള റേസിൽ നമ്മൾ you are considering two rays diffracted, having an angle of diffraction theta, diffracted from two corresponding points. They are also converging to the lens to the point P1. ഈ P1 എപ്പോഴാണ് ഒരു മാക്സിമയെ തരിക? ഈ രണ്ട് റേസ് തമ്മിലുള്ള പാത്ത് ഡിഫറൻസ്, if it is equal to n lambda, then you get a maxima at P1. Now what is the path difference here? Path difference is A plus B sin theta, and when that is equal to n lambda, you get the first order, when you get the maxima at P1. When n is equal to 1, you get first order principal maxima on either sides. You get first order principal maxima on either sides. When n equal to 2, you get second order principal maxima on either sides. When n equal to 3, you get the third order principal maxima on either sides, and their intensities go on decreasing. So, if a monochromatic light is incident normally on a grating, the diffraction pattern consists of a central maxima in the middle with different orders of principal maxima on either sides of it with decreasing intensity. Now, if there are n slits or n lines per unit length in a grating, then there will be n slits also. If there are n lines per unit length in a grating, then it will have n slits also. So that n into a plus b is equal to 1. So we get a plus b is equal to 1 by n. So in the equation for the principal maxima, in the place of a plus b, I can substitute 1 by n. So you get 1 by n sin theta is equal to n lambda, or sin theta equal to capital N small n into lambda. This is called the grating law or the grating equation. ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം കൂടി പറയാം. ഒരു ഗ്രേറ്റിങ്ങിനെ എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഉണ്ടാക്കുക എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, അതിൽ n ലൈൻസ് പെർ യൂണിറ്റ് ലെങ്ത് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അവിടെ n സ്ലിറ്റുകളും ഉണ്ടാകും. ഈ രീതിയിലാണ് ഒരു ഗ്രേറ്റിങ്ങിനെ നമ്മൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കുക. സോ ദാറ്റ് n ഇൻറ്റു എ പ്ലസ് ബി, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ദി നമ്പർ ഓഫ് ലൈൻസ് ഓർ നമ്പർ ഓഫ് സ്ലിറ്റ്സ് ഇൻറ്റു ദി ഗ്രേറ്റിംഗ് എലമെൻറ്റ് ഈസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു 1. a plus b is equal to 1 by n. So that when you substitute in the equation for principal maxima, you get a plus b sin theta equal to n lambda. That is the equation for principal maxima. In the place of a plus b, I substitute 1 by n, so that I get sin theta is equal to capital N small n lambda, which is my grating law or grating equation. Now, the determination of wavelength of light using a grating. Now, to obtain the wavelength of light using a grating, we can calculate the wavelength of a monochromatic light using a grating, and we can calculate the wavelength of the different colors in white light also using a grating. Suppose we are finding out the wavelength of monochromatic light. What we do is, we take the source of light, allow the light to be incident normally on the grating. The grating is placed on the grating stand or the prism table of a spectrometer. On passing through the grating, majority of the light rays will go straight, they'll converge, and we'll get to see the central maxima in the middle. And on either sides, you get the different orders of principal maxima having lesser intensity. These two will be the first order principal maxima, these two will be the second order principal maxima, and this will be the third order principal maxima. Like that, you get the different orders of principal maxima. What you do is, you make the crosswire of the eyepiece of your telescope coincide with the first order principal maxima. Note vernier 1 and vernier 2. Make the vertical crosswire of the eyepiece of your telescope coincide with the first order principal maxima on this side. Again, note vernier 1 and vernier 2. Subtract between vernier 1s, subtract between vernier 2. So, and that will give you 2 theta. From that, you can calculate the angle of diffraction theta, and substituting in the equation, sin theta is equal to capital N small n lambda. You know theta, you can substitute and find out sin theta. If capital N is given to you and the order of diffraction is known, because we are choosing the positions of by keeping the telescope. Either you can keep it at first order, you can keep it at second order, you can repeat by keeping it at third order, and you can find for different values of n. From that, you can calculate your lambda, that is the wavelength of monochromatic light. On the other hand, if white light is allowed to fall on your grating, then what happens is, you get different orders of spectrum on either sides. You get the first order spectrum, that is from violet to red. You will get on both the sides of the central maxima. Then again it repeats. You get the second order spectrum on either side. Then the third order spectrum. The intensities of light in the spectrum goes on decreasing as the order increases. Now how do we find out the wavelength of violet, blue, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, etc.? What we do is you keep the vertical crosswire of the eyepiece of your telescope on the violet on one side, note vernier 1 and vernier 2. Keep the vertical crosswire of the eyepiece of your telescope on the violet on the other side, again note vernier 1 and vernier 2. The difference gives you 2 theta, which is from which you can calculate theta. Theta is the angle of diffraction for violet. So that lambda is equal to sine theta by capital N small n. If capital N is given to you, from this equation you can find out the wavelength of violet. Similarly, you can find out the wavelength of all the colors. This is how we determine the wavelength of either monochromatic light or the wavelength of the different colors in our spectrum using a grating. I think this class is clear to all of you. Go through the notes that I have given you and the video class, and contact if you have any doubts. Thank you.